Well, there have been some changes. I'm not going to detail why, but I recently sold and bought a lot of stuff, and I now have a Alesis Nitro Max drum kit, purchased secondhand, as I usually do. And it comes with the extension pack, and then half of the extension pack is in there. The extension pack is an extra cymbal, extra crash, and an extra floor tom. And I didn't mount the extra floor tom because I, in the meantime, also acquired an acoustic kit, which is in the attic, and I rarely play that because half the neighborhood would enjoy that. But this exactly mimics the setup I have acoustically. Actually, I would like to raise the crash cymbals a little higher on this kit, so I'm still working on that. But I wanted to let you in on something that I read about on different media, and that is that the snare drum of this kit is suspended by a very measly bar, right there, going into one T-piece, clamping it onto the main support. And if you play enthusiastically, let's put it that way, it slowly drops down and eventually it'll drop off if you don't push it back. No matter how tight you squeeze the clamps, that happens. So what I did, and there is a kit for this, but the kit was like $50 online, and I don't like that. Because I don't use the second floor tom, I had one of these clamps as a spare. And I put that underneath. There it is. Underneath the snare drum. And I bought a little piece of aluminium, a tube, and I even put a little rubber thingy on the end. It's a 20 millimeter aluminium tube, which is actually just slightly oversized. You have to pry open the clamp a bit to get it in, but it works. I think if you buy a 3/4 imperial size tube, it'll fit directly. You don't have to pry the clamp open. And the whole bar comes in 2 meters length. I only used 640 millimeter. No clue what that's in imperial. You do the math if you want to. So 640 millimeters is what it is. Rubber grommet on the end, the other end in the clamp, and now the snare drum stays where it's supposed to be. I can play the drums. Oh, and in case you're interested, this is my amplifier. I made the whole speaker system myself. It's not an old bass drum. It's actually a purpose-made speaker cabinet from several layers of wood and MDF. But it has the hardware of an old bass drum on it. And so it looks like a bass drum. And it has bass tubes in there, as you can see. Bass reflex tube, I think they're called, which I 3D printed myself to the correct length. And the speakers are multi-range. There's got a little tweeter in the middle, and the mid and bass range is around the edge. So if I want to annoy my neighbors without moving to the attic and play my acoustic kit, I can use this. And it's just powered by a regular hi-fi amplifier. It's actually an old Denon, which I still had laying around. And it sounds pretty decent. Most of the time, though, I play with the headphones not to bother anyone. Well, that's all for now.